And I know he was to a lot of other people, so that's why I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to just, say anything you wanted to say because of what he's meant to them. I'll just read a little something I wrote because I knew I wouldn't be able to say it without writing it. And by the way, I'm Candy Beneke, and Tully was my horse that I donated to Sire about 8 years ago. Tallhouse, Tully, my boy. Where do I begin to tell of the joy and blessings you brought to my life? Tully began his career as a polo pony in Florida. Apparently he didn't like being pelted by swinging mallets, so he was brought back to Texas. I met Tallhouse when I was at a low point in my life. A counselor said to remember the passions from my childhood and to get back to them. After 28 years of not riding, 2 weeks after just thinking about it, I owned a horse. Tully was perfect for me. He was sweet and good and funny. Tallhouse, or Semi-Sweet, which is show name, and I were quite a team. We won many championships and reserve championships at AAA shows around the state. One of my favorite times with him was not winning ribbons. It was at a show out of town, and he was tired, and I was tired. And he lay down, and I laid down with him, and he just nuzzled closer to me. I have a great picture of us doing that, which I treasure. I also taught him tricks for treats, which many of you loved and some of you hated, but a couple. He loved to lick me, especially when it was hot and I was sweaty. He would lick my hand for hours if I would let him. Tully also loved his baths. He curled his upper lip when I washed his face. He really enjoyed drinking straight from the hose. I would cut my hand under his mouth, and he would suck and suck the water. And then when I stopped, he would paw his front leg high into the air to show he wanted more. Kind of like Dixie does when she wants more rubbing. He was a great listener. At times I would sit in his stall and cry and pray and pour my heart out to him. I usually got a nuzzle on the face in return. Tully came to Sire in January, I think, of 2005. He was still in perfect shape, but I had gotten another horse to go on to higher divisions and couldn't afford to keep 2 horses. Someone told me about Sire, and I came to check it out. Of course, they came to check Tully out, too. Tully and I had a wonderful life here the past almost 8 years. I had dreamed of working with or volunteering at a therapeutic riding center since I was in my 20s. I actually had a folder that I had saved with articles about therapeutic riding that, for either money or school or working, I was never able to really pursue, but this was the time. I came out here every week, unless I was sick or out of town, for those 8 years to see and ride Tully and to help out. As I drove in the driveway, I'd roll down the window and call out to him if he was in the little pasture. He would let out a loud whinny and come to the gate. He always knew my voice. Tully was in great shape physically, even for a 22-year-old. He could do side and under stretches better than my 7-year-old show horse. Bending his head under his forelegs as far as he could, he almost did a somersault several times. Even after losing his eye, we would canter around the pasture at Sire, jumping logs on the ground straight and at angles without him missing a beat. Some people who rode him or sidewalked thought he was a little sluggish or lazy, but they said when he saw me and when I was on his back, he just came alive. Tallhouse was brave. He was a hard-working horse. Even when he lost an eye, he kept going strong, with the disability barely noticeable. Others tell more about how he helped the children and the adults here. I mostly know how he helped me. I don't want to talk about his death, but I will say that he continued to be brave, despite horrific pain and probably fear. I got over 50 cards and texts and emails from all of you and from others who knew him, telling of funny and heartwarming experiences they had with him. Thank you for all the love and care of him. I'd especially like to thank Peggy and Jim for getting him to the vet as soon as possible, and for the many years they've cared for him, and for staying with me the whole day and night I'd also like to express my appreciation to Molly, who was here with me the whole time, Reverend Tolley's ears, and counseling me by text message over the next few weeks in my grief. Tolley was a special horse, my boy, and as someone said to me, he was more like a puppy or a dog when interacting with people. His loss definitely left a hole in my heart, and he will be greatly missed.